Now it's gross.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah,
that's
we
not
went
gross.
live at exactly the right time
It's delicious. It's a tasty treat.
for the last part of that. Where'd
There
Greg
we
go?
I don't know where Greg went.
Greg turned off his camera. That's okay.
Ugh.
Now that we're live.
Oh, are we live now?
Yeah. Oh, we're
Then
live.
I won't start sharing dark secrets.
Dark secrets.
Dark secrets.
What?
The likes of which mankind were never meant to know.
Oh.
You know the ones I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Let me bring up the notes for this week's
The notes.
is this, a
Oh,
show?
you don't need notes.
I do.
You need notes? Oh,
I do.
okay. Well,
Everything that I'm about to talk about has been plagiarized by other videos, so I need to have these scripts.
there you
Available.
go. It's important.
What's going
Yes.
on? Is Phil getting into YouTube drama?
Some plagiarism happening.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you said we're not broadcasting yet, as I discuss my
We're live
no, we
right now.
are.
You see that at the
Years
top left of the screen.
of
We
plagiarism from the show. Oh no!
We're live already.
Oh no!
Huh. Hello and welcome to episode number 891 of the Player One podcast for Tuesday, December 19th, 2023. I'm your host, Chris Johnston, and with me, as always, from Canada is Mr. Greg Seward.
Yellow.
How's it going there, sir?
Oh, is Christmas over yet? Because that'd be okay.
No, it's not.
Not
Okay.
yet.
It's hardly
Although-
begun.
The year 2023 is almost over and done with, and we can
Thank God.
usher in 2024.
Yep.
Oh no.
Whatever it may bring along with it. Anyway, joining me from the great state of Washington, Mr. Phil Theobald.
Why, that's me.
How's it going?
Oh, great. Just grand.
Just
I hope-
grand?
I hope Christmas is not over yet. I'm so excited.
It's not over yet.
Good.
Not even begun.
Good. That's what we
Hanukkah's
want.
over though. Hanukkah finished up
Hanukkah's over.
Yes.
already. Yeah. So
Yes, it has.
yeah.
Okay,
But
now
hey-
CJ,
Yeah. What?
before we get into whatever it is we're going to do here today,
All the video game news that happened this week, which is just so much.
there's a lot. I know we got a
Too-
lot to get to.
Too much. Yeah.
So I'm looking at your amiibo shelf, your glorious new amiibo shelf.
Yeah. It changed
That
a little bit subtly.
That's what I'm asking. I'm wondering, did you
Subtly.
fill something in or did you just rearrange a bit?
Well, both. I think I mentioned that the Guardian amiibo, the Zelda Guardian amiibo, and the Big Man Splatoon 3 amiibo
Yes.
were of larger stature.
I see the
and
big man,
didn't
the
exactly
third shelf
fit.
down all the way to the right. Am I correct?
Yeah, you are correct. That is
Your
that is
left,
Big
my
Man.
right.
I was able to put Big Man in one of those side spots.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was able to put the Zelda Guardian in the mix as well.
Okay.
Yeah, on the lower shelf,
Right
the
at the
far right.
How impressive was that, by the way, that I could see that? Because that's tiny.
That is tiny. Yeah,
That's tiny, and I
on your
picked that
screen.
out.
That is
What's-
tiny.
What's Big Man?
Is one of the hosts of the sort of show within the game of.
Did you play
3?
Splatoon 3?
No.
Yeah, he's one of the
You know-
hosts.
You know how they always have like the off
Callie
the
and
hook.
Marie,
No.
Yeah,
and off the hook. Yeah,
he's a manta ray,
he's a manta ray. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
and he's large.
Big
He's
even.
got
call
that
him Big
wings
Man.
band.
yeah. Indeed. So I have those amiibo all set up.
I went in.
I'm kind of liking this setup though, because if I go back to the Tears of the Kingdom video cartridge and
Right.
want to scan in some amiibo, All I have to do is to
They're
stand
right
right
there.
next to the shelf and just plunk, 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 plunk.
They're
Yeah.
right there at your fingertips.
Just do that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good.
No, that's great. I went into the
Yes.
optometrist this past week to for an eye exam.
Yeah.
So this is very similar to what I was doing.
You were spotting.
They were having me read the tiny little letters.
That's right. And now
My prescription changed a bit. I'll have you know.
Oh, did it? Oh,
It
well, there
did
you
just
go.
just
Oh,
a bit.
I see. Yeah. Does that mean you have to get all new VR prescription lenses?
I don't think
You-
they changed that much. They didn't change
Yeah.
that much.
Yeah.
I am getting some new lenses, but
Getting
I'm
new
not
frames
going-
or just new lenses? What are
New-
we talking
new-
about here?
well, both.
Oh, he's playing us off.
Oh, it doesn't matter. Who does he think
He's
he
like
is? Jeff Keighley? No.
I gave you twice as much time as Jeff normally gives.
Where's the big sign that says "wrap it up"?
Hang on, Please wrap it up.
I gotta add this to my
Jeff is
playlist.
polite, if
Yeah.
nothing else.
He did say please. I guess
He says please before
Well,
he
he's
kicks you off the
Canadian.
stage while you're dedicating your
Can't stop
award
it.
to
There we
your
go.
dead friend.
Yeah.
He's Canadian.
Yeah.
But that,
Well,
that,
hey, at
that
least-
would explain it.
At least the Baldur's Gate 3 director got to release the full speech on Twitter, right? This was what I was going to say.
Well, yeah, what a
we
treat.
are.
He got to release what he got to talk on his own social media page. Jeff Keighley didn't
know.
come over and like delete Twitter off his phone.
Yet.
Yeah. You know
How
what would have been
kind.
good is if like the Game Awards YouTube channel had said, okay, like come on, we'll let you do the full thing and we'll put
Nope.
it on YouTube.
Nope.
Ah,
I think it probably would have gone more like if you sponsor the video,
There you go.
wow.
we'll let you put the full
Well,
thing.
maybe Microsoft
on
would
our YouTube
sponsor it
channel.
since the last
You
part
can-
of his speech was that Baldur's Gate 3 is on
Oh, yeah.
Xbox. Yeah. Yeah.
You can put the full thing on, but we're gonna put
Uh.
like 2 ads in the middle of it.
That's YouTube
I mean,
for
you just leave it on the default settings, and YouTube will do that for you.
That's
I think
also
it's-
true.
I think it's what 2 minutes 30 seconds or 3 minutes before the interstitial ads start now.
My goodness.
I am on the YouTube premium train now.
Oh.
I can't go back. Anytime that I
refuse
have
to
gone
pay for
back,
more at this point.
Mhm.
it's terrible. I can't do it. Like I can't.
You know, I don't mind sitting through pre and post ads. I really don't.
Yeah.
And I don't mind sitting through mid-roll ads if they're not too frequent. But the
Yeah.
default setting right now is goddamn
Very
ridiculous.
frequent.
I don't mind the
yeah.
post video
Yeah,
ads
'cause you just
because I can
leave.
just turn off the video.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm not. I don't
tell
hate-
YouTube my secret.
I don't hate
Oh.
all that stuff enough to give them money to.
Right.
I
Not
do.
yet.
I do. And I use it enough that I do. And same with Twitch. I pay for Twitch Turbo because I don't like Twitch ads. And
The you know, you could just subscribe to your favorite channels and you just wouldn't.
but I like to bounce around and check out. I'm more interested in checking out particular games and not
I'm not-
regular streamers. I do subscribe. I am subscribed to streamers that I enjoy.
hang on, I got to check my subscriber list.
Do it.
I feel like this is about to
Uh,
get real awkward. But
Our
hang
boss
on.
is not White Tiger.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
There it
Um,
is.
But I Twitch Turbo is
Son of a
more
bitch.
convenient for me as I hop around and watch different streamers play different.
And I
games.
loved that song in the 90s, Hop Around.
hop around.
Hop up and get down.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, you know, I watched a Milli Vanilli documentary on Paramount Plus today.
Cool.
And if you have Paramount Plus, and many of you do for the Star Treks, I highly recommend that you watch the Milli Vanilli
I
documentary
forget.
that's on there.
I
It's good.
forget. I forget how to watch Paramount Plus in Canada.
I'm not sure.
I've been watching wrestling documentaries
Oh
are-
yeah.
that have the Paramount logo at the start of them on Prime Video up here. So
Oh.
maybe.
Well, there you go.
Maybe.
Check Prime Video.
Very possible. But it's
They're
an
pretty good.
MTV film, and I had kind of forgotten the timeline of when it was really like discovered that they were lip syncing, and there was a performance where
Right, because it wasn't on the internet.
where their backup
That's true.
tape like started skipping, and then I
Yeah.
didn't realize it wasn't until after they won a Grammy that was all
Oh, yeah.
revealed.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I thought that the skipping incident was the thing that, you know, they called it quits after that. But,
So they-
but no.
So the skipping incident happened before they won the Grammy,
Yes.
and they were just ousted after they won the Grammy. Then
Yes.
so somebody
Oh.
was wow. So somebody was that petty that they waited until after they won the Grammy to say, "Oh, by the way." So
No,
because-
the funny thing is, okay, so there's the and this documentary is great. Go watch it. I highly recommend it. But so there's the skipping incident, and then the person, one of the singers that actually did the singing,
Yeah,
revealed that
that
he
was
was
the
the
thing.
singer.
because it's not
Oh.
weird for singers to lip sync.
Right.
Right.
You remember?
And then that was like November, and then they won a Grammy in February, and then it was revealed like
Right.
sometime after that. So
That's not even them singing.
It's funny
And
because
that's when it gets taken away.
do you remember? Oh God, what was her name?
Ashley Simpson.
Ashley Simpson
Ashley
on
Simpson.
SNL when her tape didn't work properly, and then she just
Yes.
danced that really awkward jig
Yes.
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 And
But I
then
mean-
they faded to commercial.
Stuff like
Yeah.
that was stuff like that felt like it was happening a lot in the 90s because we were listening to the radio the other day and CNC Music Factory came on. Gotta
Mhm.
Make You Sweat came on, and I was telling the
Yeah,
kids about
that was the
how
same.
they got in trouble over that song
Same
well,
deal.
because of it wasn't because of lip syncing, it was because
No.
they led people to believe that the woman who was singing the chorus was the woman that was, I believe, on the cover of the album.
It turned out nobody started actually
who did
sweating.
who did sing in some of their tracks, but not in that track. The woman who was
Oh,
singing in that track was actually one of the Weather Girls. I forget
Martha
which one,
Wash.
but she was one of the Weather Girls.
Yeah,
And
Martha
so
Wash.
it was
And she also sang on other artists' track
Yeah,
as well. that,
yeah.
Again,
Well,
was
she's an amazing vocalist. So
Yeah, oh, yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
but I remember that all blew up too because, and of course, that was a terrible narrative because,
Yeah.
like, you know, it's like we're gonna let you think that the young hot lady was doing the singing and put her in the video lip syncing
Yeah.
to her lines,
right.
whereas the middle-aged lady we're gonna pretend doesn't exist except for her
That's right.
amazing voice. So
yeah. The other thing I didn't realize is that the producer for Milli Vanilli, Frank Farian, this was like the second time that he actually had done something like this.
Yeah.
There was another controversy in the 70s for a performer that I didn't recognize the name of, a disco band called Boney M.
Boney M.
And
Great Christmas album, by the way.
the the lead singer, quote unquote, sang none of those songs.
What?
I know,
Really?
and it was another.
I have to tell my sister-in-law
controversy
because she's like a huge Boney M fan.
Boney
back
M,
then.
more like Phony M.
I thought you were gonna say Boney M. I hardly know her, but
Oh, and that too.
Oh.
it would have been a
Yeah.
little crass.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, no.
And apparently did
Hmm.
the same thing after Milli Vanilli did it again afterwards. So this documentary
Really?
goes into all that. Really interesting stuff. But anyway,
My goodness.
Man, I love Milli Vanilli.
highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. And they talked
this
to
has been a
record
fun
executives too about when they knew, if they knew, whatever. And apparently,
Everybody knew.
well, yeah, everybody knew.
Yeah,
yeah, of
and
course.
then proceeded to lie about it for
Yeah, of course.
many,
Yeah.
many years.
That's what
Anyway,
you do.
I guess.
You know how we
so.
do.
I
Got to make
guess
that
so.
money.
Jeez. Well, speaking of money,
Get some of that cheddar. Get some of that
Uh,
sweet, sweet greenbacks. Look at that. Greg's making it rain.
E3
Blame
apparently
it
really,
on the rain.
really dead this time. E3 dead.
Oh,
To be fair, it's been
Really
it,
dead.
it was really dead already. They just finally
Yeah.
officially pronounced it dead.
Officially pronounced it. Yeah.
Rigor
In
mortis
a
had set
tweet,
in.
E3 said, after more than 2 decades of E3, each one bigger than the last, the time has come to say goodbye. Thanks for the memories, GGWP.
GGWP.
Good game, well played.
got to get word perfect. That is a cry against the tyranny of Microsoft Word. Got to get word perfect.
Somewhere
Word
Clippy is
perfect.
crying.
It's the hot new word
They do. They do. So it's E3 is no more. How do you
You
guys
know,
feel
I-
about that? You gonna miss it?
Citation needed on the each one bigger than the last claim.
Well,
about E3.
yeah. There were a couple that were smaller than
Yeah.
I have a feeling that we had a little diminishing returns by the end.
we did.
I
I
feel
missed
like-
the days
sorry.
of old E3 though. Like
I was going to say, I feel like we've had this conversation.
we've
many
had this
times.
conversation. You and I went on Gamer Looks at 40 along with Dan
Right.
Shu and talked with Bill, the host of that show, about E3 and E3 memories, and that was fantastic. Like I do miss that old E3 and the old perception of E3 as being, the place where you got to preview all these games and you really saw the cutting edge of gaming at
Right.
those shows. And I don't think that in the later years, I don't think that was.
I don't know that
as
there was
realistic.
a place for it anymore.
No,
At least
No.
not in North America. Like it felt like that show never really evolved past when it was the most relevant, which was not pre-internet, but pre the internet really blowing up.
yeah,
Where and also before they could send builds of their games to the press via digital delivery instead of
Yeah.
mailing out discs or ROMs and
and when it was really about buyers from
right
Best Buy and
and a much smaller
Bavages
press
and-
corps. You mean, you didn't
and a
have
much
to.
smaller press corps.
Influencers weren't a thing. YouTube wasn't really a thing. Like
Yeah.
all this stuff, it all sort of amassed to make that show not relevant. And I'm sitting here saying they never evolved, but I don't have a clue how they would have either.
Well, and on the other hand, I think it became more and more important for there to be consumer focused events
right.
as well, and where it became less about the business and more about the consumer end of things. And I mean, I personally like the 1 week in June that we can get all of our sort of press conferences
it's
and
exciting.
news
Mhm.
into that 1 week. I love that. If we can keep that without E3, I think
But that was the thing too,
we've
right?
still got the spirit
Because
going.
up until a certain point, they were providing sort of the carrier for the signal
Yeah.
for the pressers. And
that's
then,
true,
And
and
then YouTube
they don't
became
need
a
to
thing
anymore.
Yeah, all you needed was a green screen and a camera and a microphone, and you
Yeah.
can do that yourself. And that's what they did. So
Yeah. Well, I hope the spirit of those old E3s lives on. I hope there will still be a week in June when we can get our big announcements, and maybe Jeff Keighley will be a part of keeping that tradition alive. But I happen to like that tradition.
I loved E3.
I did
I mean,
too.
it was great. I mean,
it was
before
hard.
I was able to go
work
and
when you were, especially if you were working on the online side of things, it was hard work.
Yes, it was.
But
But I mean, I have a lot of
It was
fun memories
fun.
of that in hindsight as well. Maybe not in the moment, because I remember like the first E3 we ever went to was the second year it was in Atlanta, which I think was '98. I really can't get my glasses clean.
wow.
And it was when we were going, for our own website for
Yeah.
Gaming Age,
Yeah.
and these glasses still aren't clean. And
Mm.
so I spent almost as much time in the free press room, which I'm sure you
yeah.
guys didn't have to mix with us plebes in that room, but
Yeah.
we weren't in the fishbowl with CJ. But and then even going back to like the hotel where there were way too many of us staying in each room to save
Yeah.
money and
Yeah.
sitting there tapping away on a laptop all night because we thought that every single press release we got was worth putting up on the website. So I loved it. It was great. I mean, I have very, very fond memories of that, but it hasn't been that for
I do
so
too.
long.
It had its time.
Yeah,
Wait, are you cleaning
And-
those glasses with your shirt?
I am now because
Well, no wonder they're not clean.
Oh wait, I know why now.
My goodness.
I was cleaning the wrong lens.
Wow.
I hate glasses.
Let me just wipe these off with my greasy ass shirt.
Well, this was the cloth wasn't working.
Okay.
You had a nice microfiber cloth next to
I
you?
do.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do. That's all you got to do.
I'm pretty sure it's the one that came with the PSP.
You didn't
No,
do
it's not.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow. You didn't
How
do
come-
the
No,
Where you
I find
breathe
that
on it
doesn't work. Doesn't that make it worse?
I don't know.
It's something that old people do.
And then they clean it with their shirt.
And then they
While their friends
There you go.
judge them.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, hey, you remember that Last of Us Online game that Naughty Dog was working on and it teased a few times?
Yeah, I'm hoping it's the reason why they haven't released anything new.
Well, it's canceled.
That's a
Oh
shame.
no.
Yeah, they did all that work, put it together, and the update that Naughty Dog posted to their website seems to corroborate reports that we had gotten on it that internally Sony shared The Last of Us Online with Bungie and got them to assess the project and decided that it was going to take way too many resources and too much money to keep a game like that running as a live service. So they, in their statement, said they had to decide whether they were to become a solely live service game studio or focus on single player narrative games. And they decided
Thank
to
goodness.
continue to
Boy, did we
focus
dodge
on
a bullet.
single-player
Yeah.
narrative
Can you
games.
My
imagine?
goodness.
One of the studios that's so great at that,
Mm-hmm.
having to put a bunch of resources onto a live service game. Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, this right here underscores that, yeah, if you do a live service game, you have to constantly pump it with new content and updates. And there has to be like that feeling that there's a heartbeat to the community. And that's
not
hard.
an occasional service game.
Which
Yeah.
I will say, I'm sure Naughty Dog could have done.
I'm sure they could have too. And I'm
Successfully.
sure it would have been a really good game.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel bad for anybody who worked on that the game's not going to be released because, I mean, as anyone who's worked in the game industry, everyone has games on their resume that never came out.
Yes.
Well, it may not be in your resume, but they should be. So that sucks. I mean, I do feel sorry for anybody who spent a significant amount of time working on that. But as a fan of Naughty Dog, I'm glad that they won't be diverting resources to something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I am a little bit surprised though, and maybe I shouldn't be, that Sony didn't like say, okay, Naughty Dog as a studio isn't going to become this live service company, but we are going to hand the Last of Us Online game to another new studio that we're forming, and
I
make that a
wonder
thing.
if they could have done that without pissing off Neil
The
Druckmann
studio?
or somebody else.
Yeah, you're probably right.
You know, I mean, in all honesty, because that is a studio that's well known for having, you know, a visionary at the head of the project.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's kind of like handing off, say, Metal Gear to a studio that has nothing to do with Kojima and making it a live service. Luckily, Konami would never be that stupid.
Wait a second, they were that
What?
stupid.
Oh, right.
But I mean, you look at studios like Bungie and even Rare with Sea of Thieves, like that is a live service game and they are pumping that full of content, and that is all they're doing. There is no like, remember Everwild?
No.
I do, but that was many years ago that they announced that. I don't even know if that project is still going or not. But because that live service of Sea of Thieves took over Rare, that's become their existence.
But that's a good example too, because not that Rare wasn't putting out anything, but they kind of floundered around for a while after being bought by Microsoft.
They did. That
right?
is,
I mean,
that is true.
I think before Sea of Thieves, they were more or less doing Kinect games, were they not?
They did a Kinect game, before that. Yeah.
So no.
Yeah, well, I hope they're working on something else. But I think, you know, speaking about Sea of Thieves, I think they could take that game and create a new studio that's just that and have Rare do other things too. Like, I feel you could do that. But
I mean, Sea of Thieves is not so much a like, not that it's not a Rare game, but it's not like you don't look at it and go, oh, that's Rare. Sea of Thieves is its own entity now.
It is. Yeah. Yeah. And you know,
who else is going to create platformers with terrible character designs? Right, Phil?
Yeah, what was that ukulele studio doing? No. They're putting out a new ukulele game soon, right? Isn't that the rumor? I don't know.
Are they really?
Sure.
I don't know. Playtonic, yeah. Maybe. Who knows? But or maybe they're doing Banjo-Kazooie. That'd be fun.
I've never
Microsoft.
really played a Banjo-Kazooie game.
You haven't?
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
Nuts
kinda
and Bolts
s-
is good, but
I kind of switched off on all those rare 3D platformers on the N64. Not because I didn't think they were good, but
because he had Mario 64.
exactly.
That was the king, right?
And I
Like,
just wasn't interested in playing other people's interpretation of it.
yeah.
So
Well, hey, running live service games is hard.
I'm told.
Yeah, we have many examples of live service games that close down very quickly after they launch. So, all right. Hey, Spider-Man 2. You like that video game?
I already beat
Ew.
that game.
Got robbed at the Game Awards.
It did get robbed at the Game Awards. Well, they are doing a new Game Plus update to Spider-Man 2, and the update, which normally I guess has for the previous two games had released before the end of the year. This one for Spider-Man 2 is now going to be early 2024.
Oh,
So
What
Get
is New Game
ready
Plus going to be? Do we know?
for that. So you'll have New Game Plus, audio descriptions. You'll be able to change the
Ooh.
time of day. You'll be able to
Hmm.
swap tendril colors, replay missions. A lot of stuff. Usually they add a bunch of stuff to the photo mode in those updates. So
The audio descriptions sound interesting.
that could be interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. I
I
don't know about much of the other
So-
stuff.
I already platinumed it and uninstalled it. So,
Moving
you really?
forward.
You uninstalled it?
well, I mean, I platinumed
Not
it, and
completed.
it eats up a crap ton of space.
I
What am I keeping it
guess.
around for?
New Game
Different
Plus.
colored tendrils,
Yeah. Why not?
Man. Can you say that a
audio
little slower?
descriptions that I don't need.
What color tendrils do you prefer?
You know what?
Depends on the night. Depends on my mood.
I don't see colors of tendrils.
Okay.
You know, they're all beautiful.
I'm not really looking
All
at
the
the tendrils.
tendrils.
Yeah.
No? What are you looking at then?
Nothing.
Okay.
He's looking at what lies betwixt the tendrils.
Oh my. Oh my.
Yes.
Alrighty. Well, that's basically the news. So we can go ahead and go on and talk about what we have been playing, if that sounds okay.
Well, you're the host.
You
I don't know
guys.
why you're prompting.
Yeah, I
us
don't know
to-
why you're. You're
All right, well,
driving this
hey.
ship.
I'll go first. I've been playing a whole bunch of Fortnite,
Oh man, I wish we hadn't let CJ go first.
which should be no surprise since Rock Band is basically now in Fortnite, and you got Lego in Fortnite, and the regular Battle Royale, which I play zero build of an awful lot, and then Rocket Racing. And so they don't want you to leave Fortnite, and I don't want to leave Fortnite until I complete all of those little battle pass missions and things like that. I got a bunch of songs now in Fortnite Festival. I can play Buddy Holly and Gangnam Style and Suddenly I See and
So you have to
all-
buy all these songs individually, yes?
some of them you do. Others are unlocks through the festival pass, which is like a battle pass, but for Fortnite Festival.
Oh,
So if I want to unlock Belle Biv DeVoe Poison, which I do,
Who doesn't?
mhm.
I got to play through the Fortnite Festival pass. So I am doing that. I guess one piece of news is that PDP is doing plastic instruments for Fortnite Festival, and they're going to be
Yes.
released in 2024. And a guitar leaked out of the FCC that they're doing that, so those will be compatible with that and Rock Band. So if you're looking for new Rock Band instruments, you'll be able to buy some in 2024, which is kind of nice. I have one guitar. I might like to get a backup just in case.
I can't believe
That
you
one
only have
dies.
one guitar.
Yeah.
Well,
Out
I
of the
had
three of
more
us, you have spent
guitars.
so many
I had
hours on
more
that game.
guitars that were in a particular place
Oh,
that
right.
got
Sorry.
raided. So I only
forgot.
have one now.
Actually, but I'll say even there, knowing how much you play Rock Band, I'm surprised that you didn't have at least one of your backups not in the storage unit.
No, I only had that one because it was the one that worked the best, and then I had the keyboard, the keytar.
Ah,
I've never opened the guitar. I've still got it in my closet.
I have the keytar, which
Um,
was for Rock Band 3.
the Rock Band, the guitar I kept was actually the Guitar Hero 2, the first Xbox one.
oh, okay.
That's the
Oh,
one I
okay.
found worked the best.
Hmm.
Always.
Yeah, that one's
The
good.
Rock Band guitar, there was something with the strum bar that
There's some with
it
strum bar,
didn't-
especially early on.
it
was not good.
really didn't work well.
Yeah, they got better by the
Yeah.
end. So I have a newer guitar.
The Guitar Hero Live guitar was really, from what I used of it, felt really nice. I don't know
Yeah,
how
that
it
was good.
felt after lengthy use, but
Yeah, so I've been playing a bunch of Fortnite Festival, some Lego Fortnite. So our friend Mike started his own server with survival server with the hunger and temperature stuff on. So
that sounds like Mike.
now I have to deal with that stuff
Play
Mm.
somewhere else.
when playing in his server. And now we have like a bunch of our Sea of Thieves crew is playing in Mike's server now. So
Ah,
yeah, it's fun. It's good. It's a good time. But
I played a little bit of the Fortnite festival.
did you really? What did
I
you think?
did.
What'd you think?
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What songs did you play?
I don't know. Whatever
The
came up.
Fortnite originals. that they
I
have
don't
in
know.
there?
Maybe I didn't really pay attention.
Hmm.
They weren't songs that I was familiar with, so maybe they were the original ones.
Hmm.
So, do the music tracks that you have
Yeah.
to tap the buttons to, do those vary up depending on which instrument you play?
Yes.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I played
Literally rock.
bass
You played bass. Okay.
because I ended up
Yeah, he
playing
sang
online.
Red
Hmm?
Sorry, nothing.
I played with a few randos,
Yeah.
and you see everyone picking their instruments beforehand, and nobody wants to be bass.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay,
You can double up. You don't have to
oh, I know,
be different instruments.
I know, but
Yeah.
I wanted to, try and have a full band.
Sure.
So I was like, okay, I'll be bass. I'll take that bullet and be bass.
Yeah.
And it was just you had to press either left or right or square and circle, since I was on a PS5.
Yeah.
So you just have those 4 things you got to tap.
Yeah.
And are there
Unless you're
different?
playing expert, and then they add a 5th button,
Oh, do they now?
similar to Rock Band.
Okay.
For Guitar Hero. Yeah.
Yeah, it was cute.
It is.
Yeah.
And you can be the Toidles.
I was the. You know what? I
Titles.
I was the Toidles. Well, that's not true. I was a Toidle.
A Toidle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle pack came out on the
did.
14th. You can get the Turtles as a pack, and then April O'Neil as separate
Yes.
thing. So what'd you pick up? You picked up the Toidles.
I picked up the Turtle 4-pack.
Uh-huh.
I mean,
But
but over 1,000 V-bucks.
How many? 4,000?
Well, I had to
I think it was
because
4,000.
I had to buy some extra
Mhm.
V-bucks.
How much? What does that translate to in
That's about 40
in
bucks.
proper money?
About
Is it
40
really?
$40.
Yeah.
For what? What do you get?
You get the 4
you get the
turtles.
skins. You get what? The weapons.
Yeah.
Which are other skins. You get the back bling, right?
Yeah. Back bling. Yeah.
So
And you can play those in Lego Fortnite as well. You have Lego
Yes.
versus the Turtles.
yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what you get.
So I got the turtles.
It's 4 skins.
I
What's
love
that?
that you're saying that like it justifies the price, but okay.
Yeah.
Just for the record, CJ's very excited about the 4 skins.
That was the name of his doo-wop band in high school. CJ and the
Exceedingly
Foreskins.
That's right. Yeah.
Their show was running long and he got really angry. He was like, they're trying to cut off our foreskins. Don't cut them off.
That's right. And then you can get
Anyway.
April O'Neil separate.
I did not
with
get
the
April.
Channel 6.
You know what?
Her,
I'm just gonna say.
her back bling is the Channel 6 camera.
I'm just
and
gonna say
she has a
all those
microphone.
characters and all those skins and the weapons and the back bling at that price would only be okay if it came with partners in crime pack.
That's true.
Oh,
If you could play
go.
that song and play
Yeah,
Turtle
That'd be
Power,
cool.
Otherwise,
in
this
the-
has just all been a waste.
yeah.
I mean, I bought it too. I
Yeah,
bought all
I'm
the
not
stuff.
surprised. That doesn't mean it's not a waste.
But I play a lot. I already play a lot of Fortnite, unlike Phil.
Well, I'm
Now,
clearly
although
playing
maybe now you're
more.
playing a lot of Lego Fortnite as the Turtles. So
You know, I wanted the Turtles. If I'm going to play Lego Fortnite, I'm going to play as the Turtles. I did. You know what? I also
yeah,
I got another free Fortnite skin by linking my Fortnite account with my Lego account.
Ah,
oh,
If
that's
you
how
have
they
a
get
Lego
you.
account,
Yeah,
you can link those two, and you get a free.
you get a free skin.
You get a free
In
skin.
addition to your foreskin,
Well,
foreskins.
not to mine. No,
Okay.
but yeah.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, no, it's cute. It's cute. I'll
is.
play some more of
Yeah.
it for
Yeah.
sure.
Greg, did you play any Rocket Racing?
no,
No. Are you gonna?
no, I don't care.
No. Well, I mean, it's good. It's an arcade racing thing.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't care.
All right. Well, here's another
Sorry.
thing you're not going to care about then. I played the Skull and Bones closed beta.
What?
It's a real
How many
thing.
betas is this?
Skull and Bones. What?
Skull and Bones closed beta 12.
They've had a bunch of closed betas. Yeah, and I played a beta like a year and a half ago as well. And let me tell you, it's actually improved quite a bit since the last time that I played it.
I would
They,
hope
like,
so.
revamped the beginning of the game from what I had played previously, and I think it's a lot better now. It like gets you into things a lot faster than it did before. And so I played it a bunch this weekend with our friend Mike, and actually had a lot of fun with it.
Question mark?
Question mark? I mean,
I'm
it is
hearing a
the
question
sort of
Are
mark
you not
there.
sure, or
it is the sort of Ubisoft open world fetch questy thing. In the
Really
case of
selling it.
Skull and Bones, like there's one particular pirate you get missions from, and then everything kind of expands out from there. And you're sort of exploring this shared world. You see other players. There apparently is PvP, but we never got into any PvP skirmishes. We only did the PvE side, where we're shooting other computer controlled ships and or outposts and things like that. And it was kind of fun to play.
all right?
I was kind of enjoying it. The beta allowed you to play 6 hours of the game, and I actually played all 6 of those hours. So yeah, it might be good. Although with Ubisoft, I am afraid about buying it at launch because they're going to discount it to hell like very soon after it comes out, right? If it doesn't do that well, which it doesn't seem like it's going to, they will discount it. But maybe they'll do something like they did with The Crew and put it on PS Plus for a little while. I don't know. We'll see. But I actually kind of had fun with it. So I might buy it? Question mark. I don't know. I might. I'm more
I've never
tempted now
had
than I
anyone
was
Have
prior
an
to the
entire
closed beta.
conversation of just questions. It was good.
It was good.
I had fun. I might
I mean,
buy it.
it is the ship combat for Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, which a game I really enjoyed. It did seem like they smoothed out the combat quite a bit. And Luke Lore in the chat says,
Yeah, he's
CJ
gonna
is
buy it.
absolutely going to buy it. You're right. You're
Yeah,
right.
of course he is.
You're right. But and yeah, I'll probably have day one because they let you play it 3 days early if you pre-order it.
Oh well,
goodness.
buckle the f up.
Buckle up. But and the onshore stuff kind of sucks. Like the turning radius of the character, it really like. Did they learn nothing from Assassin's Creed? It's like you're moving around a tank. It's crazy how kind of different it is and how not polished it is on the land segments. But the sailing's good, and the ship combat is good, and that's really what I was hoping that they would nail. And you know, it's funny, like the intro says Ubisoft Singapore and then continues to mention like a dozen other Ubisoft studios that have worked on this. You're like 10 years and 12 different Ubisoft studios made this happen. Yeah, it's been in development for a long time, but I wish them luck with it.
Yeah,
why
I
not?
mean, sure.
I mean, at a point where Embracer is closing studios left and right,
Right.
and live service games close, and sometimes games launch and close like the same week. It seems like that day before game,
Yeah.
although that was a scam. But
Yeah, I
from
haven't
beginning.
sat down and read all the exposés on that just yet.
Oof.
But
Yeah, but I feel like they have taken enough time with it that I hope it turns into
yeah, they've
something.
certainly taken enough time with it.
I mean, they kind of had to at a certain point. But yeah, I'm gonna buy it at least -3. Yeah, you're right. I probably will. But anyway, that's what I've been playing. Those things. I downloaded Asgard's Wrath 2 on my Quest, but didn't really play a whole lot of that yet. But what I did play was impressive. They did like a little recap of what happened in the story of Asgard's Wrath 1, which is not a Quest game. It is an Oculus Rift title from Sanzaru Games. And so I'm looking forward to playing more of that on the Quest soon. And we'll report back once I do.
Wonderful.
So, Greg,
That's me.
what do you got for us?
I started playing Alan Wake 2 this week. Finally.
All right.
Only played it for about 2 hours. It's really interesting. It's starting to pick up. Well, I shouldn't say it's picking up the pace at this point, but it's there's a whole like detective aspect of it that where when you get clues, you have to go to like Saga is the main character. Well, the main character so far. You have to go to her mind space.
Mind
Palace.
Palace.
It's like a mind palace, but it's like a mind cabin.
Yeah, mind place or whatever she calls it. Yeah.
Where right now it feels really extraneous because first of all, so it's a whole other space you go into. It doesn't pause the game when you go into it. Which doesn't pause the action in the real world of the game. So at least that's what they tell you. I've never been in a situation where I've gone in there and been attacked or anything like that, but I'm so overly careful when I play games like these that, yeah, it's not surprising I haven't run into that. And like you will get into safe spaces like in Alan Wake. If you're standing under a really bright street lamp, then nothing can attack you. And I don't remember if it was like this in the first game, but so far, the only real Taken enemies that I've faced, they can't even see you when you're standing in bright light.
Yeah.
So I don't remember if that's what it was like in Alan Wake, but anyway, yeah. So you go into like the sub menu, which is a room that you can walk around, and there's a bunch of hotspots in it, and like one whole wall is dedicated to just placing clues and connecting them based on sort of, like if you're investigating a murder and it's like, okay, where did it happen? That's sort of one path of the investigation, and why was the victim there? That's another path. And it looks neat. And the other thing that you can do in there, well, there's a few different things, but one of the other things you can do in there is like profile different characters that you found, which again is neat, but it's all there's nothing to it. Like you don't like if you go and you have a clue, you bring up this little you'll slide the clues up from the bottom of the screen, and if they don't fit anything that you've already got, sort of any investigation path that you've already started, it just says something like, there's just a big banner on it that says something like, this is for later.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's no deduction involved at all. And then you can just sort of randomly try to attach them to these different thoughts. And if you pick the right one, then it does this whole sequence, and Saga will sort of have an inner monologue about what she's thinking and what she's discovered. And doing this stuff sort of helps you. It gives you objectives in the game world. So, like, as an example, and this isn't really a spoiler because this is the very opening of the game. I'm only in chapter 2. You have a murder victim in the first chapter, and at the very end of the first chapter, the corpse comes alive and attacks. He's one of the Taken, and then disappears. You're in Bright Falls, the main town at that point, and so you have to go back to the murder scene, which is out in the woods by Cauldron Lake. And so you're out there, and it's like, all right, you need to, you're doing some exploration, and that's great. And at one point you realize you need to find, his heart had been removed when he was murdered. His heart was removed. Well, where's the heart? Well, you don't really search for it. You find clues that you have to go into this mind palace and place on the wall. And then she goes, oh, the heart's in the general store in the freezer. It's like, well, how?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you didn't make me deduce that on my own in any way.
Right.
And B, it's like you maybe jumped through a bunch of useless hoops to give me this information. If you were just going to give it to me anyway, just give it to me. Right? Like, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not trying to crap on the game too much, but it's when you first go into it, it feels really cool. Like, this is really neat. And then you realize that it's really nothing. There's really nothing happening in there. It's a chance for the main character to, again, monologue and give you backstory, which is fine. But it's weird that you have to go into a whole submenu to do that.
And it's tied to progression, really. You have to do it.
You have to do it.
Because
like that heart. I mean, I don't know. Now that I knew where it was, I don't know if I could have gone into that general store. I'm pretty sure the store was locked until I did that Mindspace section, right? So
maybe.
I don't know. And all that is to say that it's really, really good otherwise. Like, I'm enjoying it a lot.
And the animation,
gorgeous.
The characters look amazing. The environments are awesome. The town, when you're walking through the town, it looks great.
Yeah,
like so much of it.
Yeah, and there's just so much to like about it. The combat so far has been exactly the same, where you have the flashlight and you can concentrate the beam and things like that. And the game's made me jump a few times because they've really gone hard for like the flashing a big image up on screen when you're kind of already really tensed up.
That got me once so far, and I was like, I don't know if I like that. Like, was
it in the woods when you go to the flooded area?
Yeah.
That's exactly where I jumped to.
I was like,
yeah, because you get so you're tracking this guy in the rain, and his tracks lead into this big flooded area, and I mean it looks like a place where a battle is going to happen, like it's sort of video game tropey thing, and it's like, okay, I don't want to step in here. And the music is very good. Like they're raising the tension with you. Just have like the single tone that's just sort of playing in the background, and the trees are rustling, and there's all this, all the ambient noise and everything, and it's like, oh god, what's going to happen here? And you take a couple steps in, and a huge image of the person you're tracking just flashes on the screen, and the music sort of crescendos, and it's like nothing happens. That's all that happens. But I wasn't ready for it at all, and it just made me jump. And I was like, okay, screw you.
Well, I think there is a point where that kind of thing can be overused. Like,
that's my worry.
I don't mind it to a point. My worry with this is that it would be overused. I don't want that.
Right. So
I don't mind it generally if it's only going to happen a handful of times. Fine, but
And the other thing that I'm having a little bit of an issue with right now is, and maybe I'm missing something, but there doesn't seem to be like a quick save feature,
Hmm.
which I'm not crazy about. You can go into
I don't recall.
I forget what they're called, safe rooms or something like that.
Yes.
There's what's that?
It's safe room, yeah.
Yeah. So again, in the second chapter, you find a cabin, the witch's hut, and when you return power to it, it becomes a safe room. And there's a thermos on the table that when you walk up to it, it has two button icons on it, and one is for quick save, and one is just to do a manual save, which is fine. And the game does auto save, but it feels like there's been a few times now that I've left the game, and if I just turn the system off and turn it back on again, of course I'm gonna get back there. But like we had a power outage at one point here, and so when I went, and it had to rebuild and all that sort of thing, so I hadn't saved at that point because I think I hadn't even discovered a safe room up until that point, and it went back a long way.
Oh,
Which
that's not good.
yeah, it feels like the auto save thresholds are kind of spaced out, which I'm not in this day and age. I wouldn't be crazy about that anyway, but especially now where it's like, I use my PlayStation 5 for a lot of games, and I like to
Yeah.
jump around a little bit, and I've gotten very used to
Hop
like
around. It's hop
Yeah.
around.
hop around, sorry. And I've gotten very used to not worrying that I'm going to lose a bunch of progress if I have to, if I need to go do something with my kids, or I just hit it's midnight and I really want to go to bed, and I don't want to play for another 15 minutes to find a save point. So
Yeah.
it's weird. There's a lot to like about it so far, but there's a couple of weird interface things that I'm not sold on yet at all. So
Yeah.
I'm going to keep playing it. I want to try to play as much as I can before we do our top 5 game list, which I think will be next episode, will it not?
Is it
Or
going to be next week or
next
the week
episode
after?
or the one after?
Yeah, one of those.
So
Yeah.
But anyway,
Okay.
that's all I've been playing.
All right. Phil,
Yeah.
what do you got for us?
Well, I mean, like I said, I played a little Fortnite music game.
Music Fortnite. Yeah.
I've been actually a big chunk of my week was spent playing some stuff for work. Some work related downloadable content
I see. Yes.
was released.
Some
I've
kind
been
of
playing a bit of
Area
that.
Zero.
But
something. Yes.
But what the new thing that I've been playing this week,
Yeah.
the hot new Switch release.
Yeah, I
Let me
can't
take
wait
a
to hear
moment.
this.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Otogi Katsugeki Mameda no Bakeru Oroko Sai Tairo no Sainan.
And that translates
good.
to
That's good.
Fake Goemon is what that
Fake-
translates to.
Fake
a lot
Goemon? Is that what
I
you
thought
said?
that was Japanese, but after you say that, maybe it was German.
Yes.
That's a lot of syllables for fake Goemon.
Yeah. This is the game. This is that game that was shown off a few months ago. It's a currently Japan only release. Will there be a Western release? Oh, nothing's announced. But it's apparently by some of the people who worked on Goemon games, and it is a new 3D platformer that
nice.
looks like a Goemon game. It sounds like a Goemon game.
Smells like a Goemon game.
It smells just like a Goemon game. And it's got the same kind of goofy humor that a Goemon game would have. And
Which you're all about.
which I do love.
Yeah.
You find and talk to little sentient poops in this game.
Oh my god.
And they share trivia with you. And the trivia is not even all poop related.
Built for you.
It's just yeah. So I picked this up.
You picked up the poops?
Well, you have to.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's this day and age. You can't just leave it there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
That would
not
be
cool anymore.
unsanitary, CJ.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a fun little game. It's a fun little 3D platformer. I am enjoying it. Instead of a little ninja boy, you are a tanuki
Ooh. Okay.
who has shape shifted into a little human who looks kind of like Goemon if you're, not really paying much attention.
Okay.
And instead of using a golden pipe like Goemon uses to whack enemies with, you have a couple taiko drumsticks that you go
Nice.
bunk, 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 bunk. Yes. And you use your shoulder buttons to attack, and one button makes you attack with your left hand, the other makes you attack with the right hand. You can press them both down to do a little charge up, kind of big whack all the bad guys. When you block, you pull out a little taiko drum to block enemy attacks. It's very cute.
Okay.
And it seems to be that the game takes advantage of the Tanuki's legendary shape-shifting abilities to allow you to assume different forms throughout the game. So far, I've only unlocked the first one, which allows you to shrink down, very tiny, to sneak through little secret passages and that sort of thing. But clearly, from there's when you bring up the little sub menu, there's like a weapon wheel type thing.
Yeah.
To select what form you want to change into. There looks to be at least 4 things you can turn into. So, like I said, so far I've just unlocked the tiny form. But yes, it's just like a very solid seeming 3D platform. The controls are really good. It's like I said, it's got that Goemon look and sound.
Okay.
You run through the levels, bonk enemies, collect items. You're trying to find the collectible type things, the little aforementioned poops. So I'm having fun with it. I love me some Goemon, and this is Goemon adjacent.
That's
so
good. This is by
I'm very
the
pleased.
developers are Good Feel.
Good
who
Feel.
Did Yoshi's Crafted World, Kirby's
Yep.
Epic Yarn.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and worked on the Goemon games.
There you go.
Yeah.
So Konami doesn't want to make Goemon games. We're just gonna go ahead with Otoge Katsugeki Mamed no Bakeru, etc., etc.
And maybe that'll come out in the West too.
I haven't seen anything definitive about that. But
yeah, but there are very few games nowadays that don't come out
that's
in
just
English
it, right?
in some form. Like even some of the more hard, I guess this isn't an RPG. If it was an RPG, it would be a definite. It would come out eventually. But since this is a 3D platform, maybe it's a little more in question.
Yeah.
But I'd be surprised. And I hope they release it in English, at least digitally. That'd be fun.
It would be.
Yeah.
You know what?
English.
I would double dip on an English version. That's for sure. But
Okay.
I mean, that's me, obviously. Of course I would.
Yes.
But yeah, so at the moment, whenever it gets to a point where I feel like it's, maybe it'd be beneficial if I knew what these characters were saying. I have my phone with Google Translate opened up, and I'm holding my phone up to the screen, letting it translate.
Really? Okay.
Huh?
All right.
I mean,
sure. It's better than nothing. Yeah.
I mean, it works. It
yeah.
Totally works.
Yeah.
Imagine going back to like the late 90s when you're importing all these Japanese games for like the PlayStation.
Yeah.
And you're just having to kind of muddle your way through them because you don't know what all that text is. And imagine telling yourself one of these days you're going to have a little computer in your pocket and you can just hold it up and it'll just like instantly translate what all those words mean. It would blow your mind, wouldn't it?
It would. Yeah.
Absolutely it would.
Yeah.
So yes, I am taking advantage of technology to play import video games. And why shouldn't I?
I agree.
Don't I deserve the best?
Sure.
The answer is yes, I do. So yeah, I've been enjoying that. That showed up earlier this week. So I'm very excited. I'm on vacation. I don't have to
Whoa,
work
vacation.
until
I should have known from your Hawaiian t-shirt that you're on vacation.
I'm kicking back, baby.
Yeah.
So I am absolutely on vacation now for the rest of the year, so I can
You
relax,
play some video games.
enjoy some games.
Yeah.
It's going to be good times.
Nice.
So please look forward to it. I know I certainly am.
Yes.
But yeah, that's really what I've been playing this week.
All right.
What do you think about that?
Well, I guess that means it's time for tweets.
Oh, twiddly diddly, oh, twiddly diddly, oh, twiddle twiddle, oh, twiddle tweet.
Okay.
Well,
Let's do this one from listener John, who asks, I meant to ask this last week, but with something like the TGAs, how much, if any, do you feel recency bias plays a role in skewing votes? Also, should the show be early in the year, like the Oscars, so the games that come out in December can be included?
yes and yes.
Yep.
Yes, I think
Quadrupled.
there's definitely recency bias.
Absolutely.
And if you think anything that came out in December this year is going to win an award next year, probably not.
Nope.
Probably no chance. Unfortunately, yeah, I feel like it would be better if the awards were in February, March, so that we could talk about the prior year. But I guess that's not what we're doing here.
Well, again, it's
And there's the Dice Awards and the BAFTAs. Dice Awards are in February, so
As
pay
they should be.
attention to those. Yeah,
It's almost like they're doing it right.
almost. Yes,
It's almost like they actually care about the Game Awards and
the Academy
not
of
just
Interactive Arts and Sciences.
not just a vehicle to sell you chic razors or whatever bullshit.
Schickman hasn't been a thing for a long time.
Schickman, that was years ago. Yeah,
The
it was a thing though.
the mentality, the sentimentality is still there. It's all about
Yes.
pushing those Mountain Dews, about pushing those gamer-centric razors.
Wait, they have those now?
I mean, that's kind of what they were going for with Chic Man, right?
I guess. I only buy things that were advertised on podcasts, so
Absolutely.
I'm a Harry's man. Anyway,
You are
Yeah.
a hairy man indeed.
let's do this one.
And that brings up World of Tanks. I know myself and CJ and Greg have been enjoying World of Tanks.
Oh, God, no. All right, let's do this one from Hackeralia Surprised Goose, who says, taking genres out of the question, what would be some categories you'd like to see at shows like the Game Awards? I personally find dividing games into genres is missing the point and not an interesting conversation. It could be best voice performance, most interesting mechanic, etc. Yeah, I think that could be interesting, and I think it is hard to divide out genres because so many games are action games. Like, what do you put in the action genre? There's so much that could go in there, right?
Right.
Even
I think-
RPG nowadays is getting kind of foggy, vague.
Yeah, I think that's always been a problem though, right? Because I mean, even way
Yeah.
back, like when you're talking about magazine reviews and things like that, like the word shooter encompassed
Mhm.
so much because so many
Right.
games were about shooting
Shooter.
stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think that what is being suggested though, it would be a nice addition to what's there. I think you'd still have to have them
Mhm.
separated by genre. You
I
just
think you
would.
too. Yeah.
But But they also run into the other big problem that I remember we used to sort of struggle with back in the day when we were doing our Games of the Year issues was like, if you have a game that is just going to dominate every category,
Yeah.
what do you do? And it's like, well, we just take it out of the running for all the other awards. And it's like, but that's stupid because you're saying it's the best game, period, but it's not the best in its specific categories.
Yeah.
It's always a little bit rough.
Yeah,
But
and
I
I think
get
for
why
some of
you do
these sort of like most interesting mechanic, video games oftentimes like build on previous mechanics and steal
Right.
mechanics or whatnot. Like, how are you going to explain that? And here are the nominees for most interesting mechanic without going on a 2-minute explanation of what the Nemesis system is in
Right.
Mordor or something like that, right? Like, it's a little bit tough. And sometimes the most interesting mechanic is something like Dave the Diver, where it's an old mechanic, but repackaged in a new way. Like, what exactly does that mean? I think it's harder to do those type of awards. I appreciate it when, and some press outlets do this where they will do sort of off the beaten path awards, and those are fun. And just like you're talking about, use doing most interesting mechanic, things like that. So look for that kind of thing. I don't think you'll see it at a show like the Game Awards, though.
No.
I would like a puzzle category at
Hmm.
some point. I think there are a lot of puzzle games.
Jeez,
Humanity.
anything to get
And
Tetris Effect.
I definitely would love to see Jeff streak by a puzzle category winner.
And the winner is Tetris 99. No,
But the real winner is Doritos, ladies and gentlemen.
Nothing puzzling about that. The great flavor,
Flamin'
nacho,
hot.
nacho cheese Doritos. Anyway, support the Dice Awards. Listen to those in February too.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're streamed. I think they are streamed. Watch those. All right, let's do this one from hacker alias Yo Power Time, who says, I re-listened to the past few Game of the Year episodes. Now that some time has passed, would you still recommend Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yes.
Hell yes.
I'm
kidding. Yeah.
I'm gonna say hell yes to that.
Yes.
Say thrice hell yeses.
You can get it
to
for
that.
super cheap. You can
In
probably
fact,
play
yeah.
it for free. It's probably on like PS Plus or
I recommend it even more
Game
because
Pass,
of that.
right?
Yeah. It's a fantastic game. However, don't go in with elevated expectations that it's the greatest game in the world. I think you should even your expectations, but I think it is a hell yes.
No, I mean the gameplay was solid, but I hope it came through in the Game of the Year podcast last year that the story was a huge reason why it was placed so high on our lists.
Yep.
Yeah. Was that only last year?
I think so.
Maybe longer ago.
Maybe it was 2 years ago.
I
don't know. Time is so compressed.
I think it's 2 years ago.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, time is meaningless.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah.
The game came out in 2001.
That's not true.
No, it came out in 2021.
2021.
Yeah, it's been 2 years.
Such a good game, though. And it makes me sad that we're not going to get a sequel to that.
Nope.
Yeah. But at least we're getting Suicide Squad.
Where the writer on Guardians of the Galaxy went somewhere recently. I forget where. Some other big AAA game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I forget what it is, but anyway, that was a great game. Yeah,
you should play.
So good. Play it.
You should play that game.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
good. Sure. It's fun.
All right, let's do this one from hacker alias Insipid Ghost, who says, which games from this year have you wanted to play but not gotten to?
Like a Dragon, Gaiden.
Alan Wake 2 is on my list for that.
I would have said Alan Wake 2 if I hadn't started playing it this week. But yeah, Like a Dragon, I definitely would like to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I need to play
Can't think of
more
anything else.
Mario Wonder.
I played a little bit more Mario Wonder this week.
Yeah.
And then I went and played more Alan Wake 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know what your guys' problem with Mario Wonder is.
You know what?
I
I
don't have a
can't put
problem
my
with it.
finger on it either. I don't
is
have a problem with
outstanding.
it. I don't have a problem with it. But I'm not compelled to keep playing. I played for
very
like
good
45
game,
minutes
and
the other night. It's like I'm good for like the week.
I'm gobsmacked that you guys haven't played that.
Yeah.
Same with
I'm
Hi-Fi
gonna play
Rush.
I'm gonna play it.
Hi-Fi Rush I was over pretty fast.
So weird.
I feel like, we just finished talking about Game of the Year podcasts, and the year that lasted, or the Guardians of the Galaxy came out. We were all pretty much in agreement. I feel like that's not going to happen this year.
No. No.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Maybe not. No, you're probably right. You're right.
I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. You're
I mean, there are two games that I'm feeling pretty confident will be on Phil's top 5 that I'm not even sure are going to make my top 5. Just based on the last 3 minutes of conversation. So
based on the last like 30 seconds of conversation, let's be honest.
So I'm pretty sure they're not going to match up.
Well, that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Let's wrap it up with this one. From Hacker Alias, Barely Low, who says, now that at least half of the first season of Monarch is available to watch, has Phil watched it? What are his thoughts? If not applicable, how are y'all liking the PlayStation Portal? I'm really wanting to get one, but I'm not sure it's worth it versus a Steam Deck. Which part of that question should we tackle first?
I assume Monarch is a Godzilla thing.
It's a Godzilla thing.
It's
Let's tackle that one first.
Oh, should we do that first?
Let's do that one first. Yeah.
I haven't. Sorry.
And we'll follow up.
Really?
No, I'm kidding. Of course. Yes, I've been watching it. Monarch is the new series. It's on Apple TV Plus. It is set within the Legendary Pictures Monsterverse, which encompasses the 2014 Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, Godzilla King of the Monsters, Godzilla vs. Kong, and the upcoming Godzilla Cross Kong something subtitle. And yes, I've been watching it. It's a little over, I think, 5 of 10 episodes, something like that. It's about half over.
Okay.
It's fine, I guess. It started off strong. I watched the first 2 episodes and I was like, okay, I'm into this. I'm enjoying it. And then subsequent episodes, I've kind of faded on it a little. The problem is, here's the problem. So the Legendary Monsterverse movies, great for monster action, not so great on the human stuff. Like King of the Monsters, which I know a lot of people hated that movie. I actually enjoyed it. The human parts of it, not good. But the monster fight and stuff, fantastic.
Was that the one where the fight was in the city at the end? Where they were, which one is, I'm trying to remember which one it was.
Well, that's the one that has like King Ghidorah in it. And Rodan and Mothra.
It's kind of the globe hopping one.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I know what we're talking about now.
Godzilla versus Kong.
That's the one I was thinking of.
As the big final fight in Hong Kong.
Right.
Yes.
That's the one I was envisioning, but now I know what one you're talking about.
You can tell that one is Godzilla versus Kong because one of them is a monkey.
I was thinking about Mecha Kong or Mecha Godzilla more than anything else.
That's true. Mecha Godzilla is also in that. What's that?
Although Mecha Kong would be cool.
Well, then let me direct you
here we go
to the classic King Kong Lives, in which King Kong fights Mechana-Kong.
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 That is.
Yeah. The mechanic, the suits in that movie were actually made by Rankin Bass.
What?
Not kidding.
Sorry. Yeah.
And the King Kong suit in that movie, and you can absolutely tell it was a Rankin Bass production. because King Kong kind of looks like the Bumble from
Yeah.
the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer special.
Nice.
Can he
Yeah.
swim?
Oh, but they can bounce.
They can. Speaking of that, did I see? Was it this week that the original suit actor?
Oh
passed away?
yeah, that's true.
But on a happier note, I'm just going to derail this even further.
Please.
I went and saw -1.
Oh,
-1.
now there's a good movie.
Well, it's just funny because you're talking about how the human stuff sucked in the movie.
But in that
you were talking
movie?
about, boy, is it ever! It's
It's engaging, right?
it is engaging. And it's boy, is the movie way more about the humans than.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Than, I don't have a ton of experience with Godzilla movies. So
Yeah, the best Godzilla movies are less about the monster and more about the monster's impact on humanity.
yeah,
You know, I'm talking
His-
about the original. I'm
his
talking about Shin Godzilla.
his build up to his using his beam
Oh,
in -1 is amazing. And I have to say, we saw it in IMAX.
yeah.
And near the end of the movie, when he's in the water and he's
Oh yeah.
and there's this fantastic shot where he's getting ready to fire his beam, and the camera is it's panning, but I think it's also zooming, and it pans around to where he's facing the camera, and
Yeah.
then it just locks and everything goes silent for a second. Was just like, oh, that is a great shot. Oh my god, it was so good.
And I don't.
Yeah,
I forget exactly
I got
how long.
tingles when it happened, and it was
Oh,
just,
yeah.
oh, so good.
The sound cuts out for. I mean,
A while.
it feels like it cuts out for about 20 minutes. It's
But it's a
probably
really
only
intense
like,
scene.
huh?
But it's a really intense scene. So
Oh, it is.
It's yeah.
And the
contrast
sound.
is
I mean,
huge.
the sound cuts out for probably 30 to 45 seconds.
Yeah.
But of course, in film, that expands a lot. It feels
Right.
like a long time. And when I saw that in a pretty packed theater, boy oh boy, you couldn't hear anyone breathe. Like the entire theater
Great shot.
holding their breath. It is
Yeah.
it's a very good movie.
Yeah, I was really
And-
impressed by it.
And I will say, you don't even have to tack on the before a Godzilla movie.
Right.
It's just a genuinely great film.
Yep.
Go see -1.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I second that. And I'm not even a Godzilla. I mean, I like Godzilla movies well enough,
Yeah, but yeah.
but I wouldn't like, hey, there's a new Godzilla movie. I got to go see that. Like that's
Right.
not me. So
Monarch's problem is the human characters that they're focusing on, because Kurt Russell's in it. He's like
Yeah.
the big star, and it's Kurt Russell. Who doesn't love Kurt Russell?
right.
He's great to watch. He's charming. He's likable. You love Kurt Russell, but the show focuses more on these like kind of younger characters. They're not engaging. Their story's not interesting. And we spend way too much time with them following this conspiracy. And it's not terribly interesting. And there's not enough monster fighting to really justify the frankly kind of boring human melodrama. It's not that I'm not going to keep watching it. I'm obviously going to finish it, but it's fine, I
see.
guess.
Well,
Anyway,
on a different subject,
PlayStation
Portal. I'm still using the heck out of it and playing games remotely on it. A lot of Fortnite on it. In fact,
I wouldn't say I'm using the heck out of it, but I am still using it fairly frequently.
he's a little bit.
It's man, that screen's nice.
That
Yeah, I
screen
mean,
is real nice.
it's a very nice system.
Yeah.
If you really, I think if it was a choice between a PlayStation Portal and a Steam Deck, I'd probably go Steam Deck.
Well, it depends also what your library's like on Steam versus
Well,
PS5.
but your library
where
on Steam will be like 500 games in the space of like 2 months if you're starting to
where you normally
Right.
play your games. Yeah. If you play more on Steam, then yeah, Steam Deck.
Yeah,
Yeah, shouldn't even really be a question.
I'd
But if
say
you're
the
playing
odds,
a lot on PS5, then yeah, Portal.
I'd say the odds are most people who have Steam probably have more Steam games than PS5 games.
Yes.
I have no way of backing up that information, but I'm going to guess I'm correct.
Hmm.
If someone has both Steam and a PS5, they probably own more Steam games.
Yeah.
That is my absolutely pulled out of my ass guess that is probably correct.
Could be.
But again,
Plus
the
the
PlayStation
OLED is
Portal
a
is
really-
great.
The OLED Steam Deck is a nice little device.
Yeah.
The Steam Deck in general is a really nice device.
And I haven't even played the Steam Deck. I don't have one.
Yeah.
But I'd say odds are you'd probably get more use out of a Steam Deck. Unless you're like really
Probably.
itching to play your PS5 games on the go.
Or not even on the go.
Or just sitting
Because
around the
you can't-
house.
Around the house, yeah.
Which again, I still, if I'm sitting around the house,
You're playing on your TV.
I have a TV.
Yeah. And that's understandable.
But again, the PS Portal is great. Works fantastic, looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Solidly built.
Would you say it's the portable of the year?
I mean, the OLED Steam Deck came out this year.
I mean, and I got
But
my.
that's not eligible because it came out too late.
When did the Analog Pocket come out?
I don't know.
Speaking of analog,
I'm really enjoying my
Oh.
Analog Pocket.
guess what's showing up tomorrow?
Did you get them? Really?
Huh? What?
Oh, the Duo, right?
My Duo shows up
Oh, the
tomorrow.
Duo is showing up tomorrow. Have you been following the reviews for that?
In what? I mean, I
They're a
saw some
little-
people.
They're a little not amazing.
Oh,
Really?
what's wrong with it?
But nothing terrible, but just you know, I've been. It seems like what they're doing, and I don't know if this is actually the case. This is just conjecture, but the analog, the Pocket's OS, the Pocket OS,
Uh-huh.
that is the OS across their systems now.
Okay.
So, like the OS is exactly the same, which is fine. It's led to, I think, a few like confusing menu items being sort of hidden in places, but it just like I watched My Life in Gaming's review on it, and I watched GameSack's review on it, and it's, I don't know, people aren't, it feels like they're not crazy about it. It's like, it's more like it gets the job done. It's okay.
Yeah.
There's some compatibility issues. Now that might have changed because apparently right after the embargo lifted, the next day they dropped an OS update. So but yeah, I was watching it and I kind of wanted one, but I didn't really need one because I don't have a big TurboGrafx library.
Right. Whereas I do.
Whereas you do.
Yes.
So if I had a big TurboGrafx library, I'd probably be more inclined to want one or
Mhm.
to actually buy one. But like the reviews actually were like, because I still was thinking about it based on still be a cool thing to have, and I do have some TurboGrafx games. You know, it'd be nice to be able to play them on that hardware, and I've pretty much been convinced that no, I'm not spending the money on it. And the other
Okay.
thing I've always had a concern with right from the start is the disk drive. I don't trust.
Right.
I just don't trust that it's a slot loading disk drive. I really wish they'd done a flip top.
Yeah, that would have been
lid.
nice.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
watching it, like you really saw it in the My Life in Gaming video. You have to push that disc in a long way for it to grab anything, and when
Oh,
you're
really?
watching the motion, it's just like it just doesn't look
Hmm.
great. It doesn't feel like it's moving with purpose. You know
Oh,
what I mean?
really?
And when it spits it out, it really doesn't push the disc out very far either. So it
Hmm.
just, you know, I don't know. I'm nervous about that stuff anyway. Like all the optical disc games I have now, I generally don't ever use them because I'm just so afraid that the aging hardware that I have is going to hurt them somehow.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. But I'd be interested to
mean,
hear what
worst-
you think of it.
Yeah. I'm obviously still very excited to get mine.
Mm.
Again, I do have a pretty substantial turbo library, so I will get use out of it. But Yeah, it's showing up tomorrow. I'm very excited.
Nice. That is
What I thought-
exciting.
What I thought you were going to say is that you got the adapter set for the Pocket.
No, those have not shipped yet, right? They're not out yet.
They said they were shipping them in December, and
Oh, really?
Tomorrow's the 18th, so
Hmm.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see. I hope.
Oh man.
That's still my plan right now is to use my Turbo EverDrive. Hopefully, it plays well with the Pocket, and then just on the dock, it should
Yeah.
keep me.
Oh
covered.
yeah.
I see.
Oh, here we go. Analog Pocket adapter sets are delayed and will be released late February,
Okay.
according to an email they sent
Oh well.
on December 1st. So
There you go.
please don't look forward to that until late
Yeah.
February.
Mm-hmm.
But there you
All
go.
right then. I think that's a show. I think that's it.
Oh,
Alrighty, and that is our show for this week. Thank you very much for listening. If you have a question for us or would like to comment on something you heard, you can direct that to @P1 Podcast on various social networks, but definitely Threads and X. And we also have an internet website at playeronepodcast.com where you'll find our contact information. You'll find blog entries about Sega CD stuff from Mr. Greg Seward. You'll find Generation 16 episodes as they happen. And you'll find show notes and links to all the things we talked about, and a link to our Discord server where you can discuss this episode with us and our other listeners.
if you would like to subscribe to the Player One Podcast, you can do so by visiting playeronepodcast.com or by loading up your favorite podcast listening app. We're also on Spotify. You can like us on Facebook. You can watch video archives of our show on the youtubes.com/P1 Podcast, or you can watch us live most weeks on the YouTubes, the Facebooks, the Twitch.televisions, all over the darn place. Just follow one of our many social media accounts to find out when we are doing our next live show. Typically, it is Sunday evenings at 5:30, a specific time. Although, are we doing it next Sunday? Next Sunday's Christmas
know, I
Eve,
think
we need to
dudes.
talk about that.
We're
We
gonna
need to talk
record
about that.
Yeah.
Because TBD next week, folks. But typically, Sundays at 5:30 specific time.
That's true.
So join us, won't you? And if we do it at a different time next week, well, again, the social media accounts, follow us.
Yeah.
It'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Yeah.
If you like what you've heard, and how could you, head over to patreon.com/P1 Podcast. Throw a few shekels our way. We use your money to pay for our podcast. That's what it
Sure.
comes down to, really.
It's true. Yeah.
Keep us streaming and all that nonsense.
Hmm.
And I'll tell you what, though, we don't just take your money and give nothing back. 'Tis the season of giving, friends. And we're giving year round. If you give us $5. If you are a Patreon supporter of the $5 tier,
Cheap.
you gain special access to a weekly bonus episode that we record right after this. We play games, crack wise, having fun doing all the stuff we can't do on the regular show. CJ?
Yeah.
CJ?
What's
Do we
up,
have
Phil?
a game this week? Do we have a game?
Phil, let me tell you.
Oh, no.
This week,
Oh, jeez.
in the season of giving, we do have a game. Yes, we do.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, what
It
a
is
joyous
from
day.
our good friend Mike, who has sent us an AI
Oh,
image
Jesus.
quiz, an AI art quiz. This is video games with Christmas themes.
oh,
Yeah,
like the Die Hard game for NES.
or have
I
they
heard it's a
have
Christmas
connection-
movie.
connections to Christmas.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm very excited about this holly
Me too.
jolly quiz.
Yes.
Okay.
Hmm.
Well, join us for that, please. And I'll tell you what, if you have a couple bucks left over, head over to patreon.com/Greg Seward to help support Greg's outstanding, and it is outstanding, web series about North America's favorite runner-up, the Sega Genesis.
Thank you, Phil. And if you are a supporter of the $5 variety,
Oh, that is ever so cheap.
that's right. Thank you, Satan.
Hey, you got it, dude.
You must be having a good time. You go into a lot of Christmas parties.
Oh, you know what I'm simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
I always
I
assumed you
love
were
it.
co-writer on that song.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
You get access to the Weekly Commute, which is a vlog series that I release mostly weekly. So, name's a little misleading. About the videos that I've been working on and other projects in general. Mostly lately talking about the Ridge Racer video that I still have. I'm holding out hope that I will be done in the next 2 weeks. Hard to say that's going to actually happen, but
Is that going to be your
You know
first video of 2024?
for how long it's taken, it might be like the third or fourth video of 2024. We'll see. Anyway, please consider supporting the show, and thank you so much if you already do.
Absolutely. CJ,
Yeah,
is that's it? Yeah.
that's it.
That's
We're
it?
done. Yeah.
Goodbye,
Bye, Phil.
CJ.
Bye, everybody. Yes, thank you, Phil.
I'm thanking you. I want to
Thank
thank you.
Thank you.
I want to thank you
Yes.
for all that you do.
Well, thank you, Phil.
Absolutely.
For all that you do.
Gregory.
Yo.
Thank you as well.
Thank you, Philip.
Obviously. And a big old thank you to you, our wonderful, wonderful listeners. Every single darned one of you, as always. Take care of yourself, your loved one, your family, your friends. Be kind to each other. Be kind to yourself. And we hope to see you next week.
Bye-bye.
We really do.
Bye.